Bora Bora is what I was thinking. Bora Bora is the place that's 5 hours south of Hawaii. Anyway, I had to go up there on Apple Maps and try to find it, which I did. Welcome back, folks. Rush Limbaugh, the EIB Network. Interesting piece here from Mark Hemingway at the Weekly Standard. It's about the possibility that Leon Panetta is the leaker of all of these national security secrets about Obama and the kill list and the Stuxnet computer virus, all of these things designed to make Obama look like John Wayne, Mr. Tough Guy. And here's what Hemingway says about it at the Weekly Standard. The recent congressional anger over the Obama regime's convenient national security leaks reminded me of an unusual bit of political trivia. Defense Secretary, prior to that the CIA head, Leon Panetta, is the prime suspect in one of the most notorious political leaks of all time. Tevi Troy, a former Bush administration official and the author of Intellectuals in the American Presidency, wrote about this when Panetta was first tapped by the regime to head the CIA. After the 1968 campaign, Nixon hired Pat Moynihan, who had served as Assistant Secretary of Labor for policy in the Kennedy and Johnson regimes, as his urban affairs advisor and all-around White House intellectual. Moynihan was already a somewhat controversial figure, having authored a book, actually a report called The Black Family Then and Now, which attributed the disproportionate poverty in the black community to rising illegitimacy. And by the way, that's Pat Moynihan in 1968. Working for Nixon. Wrote a report, got him in big trouble. Illegitimacy was his primary reason for black poverty, disproportionate black poverty. The liberal intelligentsia pilloried Moynihan for this conclusion. He left the Department of Labor not long after it was learned that he was the author of that report. The memo was leaked to the press, and on March 1st, the New York Times ran an article headlined, "Benign Neglect on Race is Proposed by Moynihan." The White House was swamped with criticism from civil rights leaders and editorial pages. Moynihan had to hold a press conference to defend himself. Although memos leak all the time and the leakers are rarely identified, the New Republic's John Osborne reported in a March 1970 profile of Moynihan that Leon Panetta was a prime suspect in the leak. And there was certainly some reason for his suspicion. In February, Panetta had resigned from the Health, Education, and Welfare Department. That's the old HHS, because he opposed the Nixon administration's approach to desegregation. Panetta later went to work for New York Mayor John Lindsay, switched parties, successfully ran for Congress as a Democrat in 1976. The leaker of the Moynihan memo and report has never been definitively identified. Now, Tevi Troy, the former Bush administration guy, suggested that senators used the occasion of Panetta's CIA confirmation hearings to ascertain whether Panetta was the Moynihan memo leaker, as being able to keep a secret would seem to be an important qualification to head the CIA. He also raised the issue again when Panetta was tapped to head the Department of Defense. Now, there's no particular reason to suspect that Panetta is behind the current leaks, and outwardly Panetta seems to be a committed public servant, but the seriousness of the national security issues involved, maybe we shouldn't rule out anyone. So it's speculation. But Panetta has been thought of to be a high-level leaker in the past, and he is a loyal Democrat. I tell you, I'll never forget this. And I've always been suspicious of it. Panetta was chief of staff for Clinton. And I guess he was leaving as chief of staff, and he was heading back home to Carmel, California, which is a beautiful place. And he was going to open the Panetta Institute. I met Panetta playing, by the way, out the AT&T Pro-Am one year. I was being interviewed by Neil Cavuto, and as I left the trailer, Panetta walked in, said hello, yuck, yuck, and I went on down to the practice team. Anyway, when Panetta left, he gave the most glowing report and endorsement of Bill Clinton as perhaps the country's greatest president ever. And it doesn't mean anything other than he's Mr. Loyal, which is fine. I have a great appreciation for loyalty. All I'm saying is that if people are going to suspect that Panetta is the leaker here, for the purposes of make Obama look good, it would make sense. He's a loyal soldier. CIA director for Obama, Defense Department for Obama. Somebody's leaking, and it's bad stuff. And it's all political. It's all designed to make Obama look like something he's not. Mr. Tough Guy. Personally going over to kill this. Yeah, I want to kill that terrorist today. And I'll kill that terrorist tomorrow. And we'll put the news out 3 days from now.